Hello and welcome back. So today we aren't looking at coins, we are doing some coin inspired pumpkin designs. And I must admit this took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. It took me about 2.5 hours to do both pumpkins, and my thanks to Gracie, who was keeping me company and trying to make me not go absolutely doolally. But whilst having a look at this, I wanted to mention that a good friend of mine, Matt, is running a spooky online virtual ghost tour, St Fagan's online ghost tour, on Thursday the 20th of October. Tickets are only £6.60 via Eventbrite at www.darkwalestours.co.uk. Links will be down in the description, but it sounds like a fantastic event, and I remember as a child going on ghost tours around Tenby in Wales on holiday, and it sounds like this is going to be great fun. But we're just pulling out the brains of this pumpkin here. I forgot how dirty and filthy it was there, but the first coin we're going to attempt to do is Kew Gardens, the iconic 50p, the holy grail of UK coin hunting, and the one we really want. So I just thought I'd sketch out a rough idea of what I wanted. I know I'm not particularly creatively minded, so I just thought I would try and get something that'd be recognisable as it. So yeah, I wanted to then cut around the outsides of it, because I wanted this part of the coin to be recessed, and then the little spirally branches around the sides of it, that to be cut out completely. So the light would come through the building somewhat and have some windows in there, and then the light would shine through with the actual tendrils around it. But I was using a whole heap of tools. I quite liked using the potato peeler, which I'm using now, although safety warning, please do not attempt this unless you're an adult or have the supervision of an adult. I have a bit of a sore thumb from using the potato peeler. We're just cutting out the base of it now, so the nice little base for it to stand on, and now I thought I'd do the outside of the 50p. Obviously it's not cut all the way through, because otherwise the whole design would fall out, but I wanted the light to shine out of the sides of the coin to sort of give it that sort of shape in the dark. But again, it was a bit of a trial and error on some of these bits and pieces. I think I cut through with the knife and then helped, because the potato peeler had this nice little scoopiness to it that helped scoop it out after I'd cut it. But yeah, it was a bit trial and error, but it was quite fun, and my goodness did it smell good. I do like the smell of pumpkins, even if it still smells of pumpkins now. So here we're trying to cut out the tendrils itself. I got to that corner bit and thought, how on earth am I going to do this? But I managed it quite well on later parts to get some semblance of a bend in the design, which it is harder than it looks to do. But I think I managed it and it looked okay. But the problem was that some of the zigzaggy liney bits, they weren't holding their place particularly well, but I thought, oh well, we'll just manage it. So then I decided to try and do some windows. I tried with a screwdriver and that didn't work, so I went back to old reliable, the potato peeler, and just scooped out. I think I cut with a knife the sort of square, and then used the potato peeler just to cut a bit of the layers out from it as well. And the windows were getting larger and larger, but I'm sure that's the thing with, if you take a picture, you draw a picture of a building, the windows at the top are smaller. That's perspective. Not that I was thinking too much into it, but that's my excuse, and that's why I'm sticking to it. But yeah, just then I wanted to get the letters, and I just used a knife to cut out the sort of outlines of the numbers, and then cut next to it and use those little tweezers to pull out just a little bit of the flesh as well, so that I could so the light could come through on that. But again, a little bit tricky. I did struggle with the letter 2. I sat there for quite a while figuring out how I was going to cut a 2, well, how a 2 looks on a digital clock. So I thought it was easier to cut the digital shapes out, because they're more straight lines, angular, rather than sort of circular numbers, which would be much harder to cut out, given my lack of creativity and rudimentary tools, I guess, that were afforded to me in this one. But no, I was quite happy with the way it turned out. I just tried to use the screwdriver to cut the word Q in the bottom, but that is that one done. Next up, we're moving on to my favourite £2 coin, and a bit more Halloween styled. We won't show you getting all the innards out because it took long enough on the first one, but this is my attempt at the Frankenstein £2 coin. How he had to have a Halloweeny sort of design, and this is also one of my favourite designs, so I was quite happy to pick this one and have a go at it. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, uh-oh. But I pinned the design on with a couple of skewers and just drew around it with Sharpie pen, so I got the outline of it. And again, just similar to the 50p, having a sort of an outline there was what I was going for. Then I cut out that outer ring just so that I could then decide how big the inner part of the coin was going to be. So I just, instead of using the Sharpie pen to draw, I just cut around slightly into the skin of the pumpkin there. And then I was trying to figure out, how do I get this inner part out? Because I want this to be recessed, but I don't want it to be all the way through. And it turns out you can use a potato peeler to peel a pumpkin. So I don't know why it took so long for me to realise that. But yeah, just neating out some of the edges of that inner part of the coin, and then just shaving a couple of layers out of the inner part of it as well, so that obviously more light will come through that part of the coin design as well. But it's quite therapeutic. It's a bit like woodworking, what I was saying. So I was quite enjoying that. And then I wrote out the design for the word Frankenstein, obviously not exactly how it is on the coin, because it's quite a fiddly little tricky thing. And this was probably the most time-consuming part of both of the pumpkins, was trying to cut out those thin letters and then tweeze out the little bits of flesh so that the light could still shine through it. And it was a case of somewhat running out of space. I think the letters get a little bit more close up to each other towards the right hand side of the design, but I think the overall effect kind of works. But like I said, as I keep saying, I'm not the most creative person on the planet, but I was more than happy with the cool design that I think I somewhat replicated on a pumpkin. I think I may have aimed too high, but although I aimed too high, I think I ended up somewhere. So better than to just cut a couple of triangles out and do that. But I thought it'd make a nice, cool sort of video. But don't expect this to be a recurring segment every year, because this was enough work. I had to clear my desk down, clear the towel away, all my other gubbins and stuff, because I didn't want bits of pumpkin in my laptop and in my coin, making its way into my coin collection. So when I come to do a whole coin collection in February, I'm finding rotten bits of pumpkin inside of my collection. So yeah, coming to the end here, I was losing patience somewhat, so I sort of botched the last couple of letters as best I could, because I was also getting quite a bit of backache there, because I was stood over it. And then I wanted the bicentenary of Mary Shelley's 1818 modern Prometheus. So I was using a screwdriver and just smashing it in the form of the letters. And again, I wasn't sure at this point whether that was going to work, but you'll see at the end of the video. I think it's got quite a neat sort of effect. I thought it would be a different kind of glow, because I didn't want to take away from the glow of the inner side of it. And I was trying to write the letters all backwards. Then I realised I could just almost draw out the letters with the screwdriver and then go and stab the designs into the flesh of it. So I was sort of writing out the design. I didn't quite have enough space to write Prometheus, or Prometheus, whatever the word is, so it is the modern prom, but I'm sure you'll forgive me with that, because there was a lot of time and effort to get to this point, and there wasn't any smaller I could get those letters. But we're coming to the end of the design of the £2, and so we're going to have a look at the actual pumpkins live and in the dark. Well, here we go. These are the finished projects. My Kew Gardens and Frankenstein £2 coin and 50p pumpkins. This is the day after I carved them, to be fair, because I didn't have any candles, so I've managed to procure 100 candles, which is far too many, but they didn't package them any smaller than that. We're going to pop them in and have a look to see what they look like. Well, here we go. The Frankenstein one, I think, looks quite a bit better. You can see the just about carved outline of the, not edge inscription, but the wording around the outer rim of it. Very, very cool. And then my Kew Gardens, I think looks better the closer you get to it. You can just about see the vines making it around, and then the text of the Kew at the bottom with the dates either side. I think they worked out a lot better than I thought they were going to, but a good job that I did buy 110 or however many candles it was, because these candles are absolutely pants. The pumpkins are absolutely chock-a-block with them, just about getting enough oxygen to keep them burning, but no, very, very cool stuff if I say so myself. But there we go, the joy of Halloween. Some awesome pumpkins there. But do let me know down in the comments which one do you think was better, and has this inspired you to do a Halloweeny coiny pumpkin? And if you do tag me on my social medias as to what you're going to do, because I'd love to see it. But for those of you that watch this from the video, as ever, you know there's the Discord server you can join if you so wish. Alternatively, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and there's the PO box you can write into if you so wish. All that leaves me to do now is thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for more coins. Bye.